Welcome all back to Skymetal Iron Gods. Now, it's been a while since we've played. There have been a bit of developments since our last chapter. We find ourselves now with splintered groups, with the main cast of Skymetal going their own distinct ways. Daeralei, you met up with Mayenda. You met a strange blood witch named Varkhessa. You decided to go into the Valley of the Brain Collectors to seek out Cassandalee's neurocam that is hidden in there. Obliged by Mayenda. On your way to the valley, you encountered cultists of unity. They spoke in your minds. Mayenda, you felt drawn in to go join unity once more, but you broke free of this strange magnetism. If anything, that implores you to go even more further on this quest. Veris, you've gained the companionship of a goblin named Louse, joining you from the Shadow Den to track down and find Yrsimagor, who gave his loyalty to the Lords of Rust in exchange for your life. Long have your journeys across the Badlands of Numeria been. But a bit of a time skip has happened as we fast forward to 2 weeks later. We will start with the group Daeralei, Varkhessa, and Mayenda. So some notes. The Valley of the Brain Collectors is a hex crawl. And as such, I've put a little rule set here of how this hex crawl will work. You can either travel 2 hexes per day if you hustle, or only 1 hex per day if you want to do some other like non-traveling tasks alongside, like foraging or being sneaky or scouting and whatnot. You'll notice that your little party icon has a health bar above it. This isn't your hit points, but rather the integrity of your supplies and your preparedness. I know that you as adventurers are very well, put together when it comes to traveling and whatnot, and being prepared and setting up camp. This is an abstraction of your supply, of how well put together things are here. These will be stressed as you go deeper into the valley, as you've come across setbacks. once that little bar reaches 0, you are kind of at road's end, so to speak. Any other damage to your survival that you take will go directly to exhaustion from that point onwards. Now, this is kind of like a little hit point bar for you to suffer, setbacks too and whatnot. But you can also, and this is the only way you can long rest here in the wilderness, is by spending one of these points. So, it's a tight resource. Use them wisely. Varkhessa, Mayenda, and Daeralei. As you make your way, as the Badlands open up to this massive ring of mountains, as you come in here from the east into what is known as the Valley of the Brain Collectors. The thorny plants that dot the Badlands, they give way as the slopes and peaks rise up. That is the edge of this cradle of this valley. There are passes through these mountains which, if you are ending up on a mountain hex, your vision is doubled. You can see twice as far as normal into the surrounding area from this height advantage. So, what is it like as the three of you are traveling? As you have entered this perilous location, as you see this testament of, well, doom that stretches before you, that awaits on the other side of these jagged peaks.
To what extent, given my own, I guess, word I'm looking for, outcast and sort of nomadic survival, to what extent would any of what we can expect in this Valley of the Brain Collectors be familiar?
You can roll me nature or arcana or history, your choice.
Let's see. Nature, arcana,
and the choice of which will color the results.
Every single one of them is the same. I think, though, given that Varkhessa is a blood witch, I'm going to use nature.
Okay.
The 10 on the die, that's a total of 11.
Your knowledge of the valley itself is very sparse. You know that it is not at all like the rest of Numeria. You've never come here yourself. You've never seen it with your own eyes before. You've only heard rumors that this is, well, an otherworldly valley. You've heard tales of it being greener than green, brighter than bright. You've heard tales of the air tasting different here. The creatures, the beasts that live in its shadow are wrong in every sense. The one thing that you do know is no one in their sane mind comes here willingly.
Nobody ever accused me of being of sane mind, sound mind and body. I think to Daeralei and Mayenda, being a Goliath, I would advocate for us traversing the mountain passes.
About your wisdom in this.
I would not bow before something you do not fully know yet.
It was a matter of phrase. What I mean is I will follow you, as I believe you know more about this terrain than I do.
And in that you are not wrong. I look to Mayenda for any sign of dissent or agreement.
She is stoic, yet that stoicism is hiding a nervousness and anticipation. She's kind of come to realize that her urging, her gut feeling that her previous life, her memories are in this valley somewhere. As she's approached this place, I get the feeling I've been here before. I worry that I brought doom upon us all. But no, we're here. I agree, she says.
Remind me, I may have missed it when you said it in the recap. Mayenda, Daeralei, and Varkhessa. What are we looking for specifically again?
You are looking for something. You are looking for a fragment of Mayenda's memories.
Okay.
It has a special name, though, right? Like, we keep calling it something that's weird.
It was, she mentioned that she had heard it referred to by Hellion as a neurocam. She does not know what that is.
Yeah.
You're seeking a neurocam.
I thought maybe... You checked my own notes, and apparently I have extensive information about this. Okay. It has been like 2 months real time since we played. Okay, I just wanted to have that in my head as we proceed. Okay. Back to the table. I think if we proceed via the mountain passes, the higher we go, the more we can see and make better choices about where we wish to go. But I would feel more sure-footed on these passes. I don't know these mountains themselves, but I know mountains, and I would begin walking. And I think Varkhessa is a Goliath, but she's very tall, but she's also not very muscular. She's a very thin, tall, almost, I don't want to say emaciated. She's not emaciated. But she just looks very gaunt in comparison to other Goliaths you may have seen. And she does walk with a staff. And we'll begin, we'll proceed to lead up, finding the most natural looking paths in search of any particular passes. We move up into the mountains.
Yeah, awesome. You can choose which tile you move on as your travel.
Let me move into here.
I have a quick question. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going into the Valley of the Brain Collectors, or that was our destination.
Yes.
How is that? I also know the Scar of the Spider. So how are those two connected?
They are the same place. Two different names for the same place.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think while Varkhessa is like leading us, I know I've been here before. I don't know how I got here before, and I don't know how I got out because I was unconscious. So I am trying as we go along to see, probably the same as with Mayenda, trying to see if I recognize anything or if anything at all is is it the word like makes me recall anything. So I might be a little bit. I am peering very like. So I'm trying to be very perceptive, obviously. Like I'm very trying to observe my surroundings because I'm trying to find out if I remember anything. Yeah.
So it sounds like you're going to go with a steady pace then through the mountains.
That'll be up to Varkhessa if she hustles us or if she's steady. I would be just steady on my own if I was not being pressured.
I think for the time being, at least until we can have a better lay of the land, we'll move at a steady pace. We don't have anything to rush toward at the moment. And I think Varkhessa would caution watching our steps until we find the sure path, because the further into and up the mountains we get, the more dangerous it becomes to misstep. And choosing the hexes, then, since I'm leading, I'm going to choose in the direction of travel, I'm going to choose the left hex because left is right and right is wrong in D&D.
Awesome. So, by traveling through the mountains, is that doubled? A little bit more. There. By traveling through these mountain passes, you've gotten a better lay of the land. You see around you the clouds gathering in low peaks. They obscure and reveal the landscape below in slow drifting cycles. When this fog parts, you can see these vast distances of these alien jungles. They are, well, all around in the lowlands below you. You see a very thick canopy of green, an unnatural green. This is not the thick trees of the Numerian highlands. This is not the scrubby growth, not even the marshes along the Selin River. It is something else entirely. The clouds themselves, as you stretch closer in, or further in, excuse me, along this mountain way, the clouds have a tinge of lavender, of purple, of sickly miasmic green that swirls through them. As you're traveling along these thin mountain ways that Varkhessa, you're able to kind of guide the party through, Mayenda says to you, Daeralei, we're looking for a cave. I remember a cave in my dreams. I know it. A deep cavern in the earth.
Well, let's hope we stumble upon it because we don't even know how vast this place is.
And I would like everyone, please, all four of you, to roll me a d10 and tell me what you get. Do you have a D10 roll?
Yes, sorry, 10.
You got the 10. Okay. Okay. As you are moving along these thin mountain trails, Varkhessa, Daeralei, Mayenda, with your backs pressed up against this like black shimmering stone of the mountains. You see around the bend along this thin little path that you will be using, up ahead, 100 feet away, on this jutting outcrop of stone, you see a mass of hay, branches, leaves, bones, detritus. You see forms inside this mass. It is a nest, and inside that nest are high, sky-dwelling creatures. They are, as you see one of them poke its head up to stretch its body. They have long necks, large crests upon their thin skulls, jagged beaks, this bright, blood-red plumage. You get a sense that they would probably notice your descent down these mountains.
Is the nest like on our level or is it above us?
It's only slightly above. It's pretty close to on your level.
Do we know what kind of bird / creature they are? Do we recognize it?
You may roll me a nature check.
That's a nat 1.
A 15 on nature.
Daeralei, you've heard tales of these winged creatures. This might be a dragon, a whole nest of them. Varkhessa, you recognize these creatures. They are known to the Bloodguard tribe that lives in the northern Badlands in the rocky crags north of here as the Kongamato. They are these great flying beasts that perch and nest up in the high places, and they are horrific carnivores. The best way to placate them, well, is to give them distance or give them meat. Sometimes they are hunted, for their plumage makes for exceptional arrows, and their beaks are as sharp as swords.
We would be unwise to continue this path.
I agree. I mean, I've never seen a nest of dragons before. I mean, as excited as I am, but to see so many in one spot, I agree. We should keep our distance. Stories never end well when they're about dragons.
You're not wrong about dragons. I don't know what you are on about.
Ahead, don't you see? The nest.
I look past you to Mayenda and kind of raise an eyebrow. And then I just look down at you and say, yes. The nest of dragons. We shall avoid them. All right. Sorry. That picture you sent, that guy in the boat looks very much like he's going, it's right behind me, isn't it? I'm sorry. I'm going to share this in the chat because I was fine seeing what the horrific creature we're looking at, but that guy's like, if I don't look at it, it won't notice me. I'm going to speak even quieter and say we'll need to divert. So if this is essentially in our hex,
There is a Kongamato nest in this hex.
What does that mean for us as far as diverting within the scope of the hex crawl?
It means, I would say that if you hustle through this area, you will be noticed by the Kongamatos and probably descended upon. Otherwise, you'll be fine if you give them their proper berth.
My intention... Am I reading the tiles correct that these darker green tiles are sort of a blend of mountain and jungle?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they are jungle highlands, yes.
Okay, so my intent then is that I'll pick a new path that puts as much rocky outcroppings between us and them, keeping us as hidden as possible, moving quietly and steadily, angling for ultimately to go for this hex. The intention is sort of to kind of move in this direction.
I do mention that I could cast darkness if it would help. I mentioned that to Varkhessa, but I don't know if it would, so.
I don't know enough about these dragons to know if the sudden appearance of an area of darkness would attract them or deter them. But it is good to know, especially as night falls, that perhaps this can help us better. In the meantime, we must just be quiet. Yeah, so the plan is to just move as quietly and carefully as possible.
Okay. What I will then do is we will then pan over to a different group of characters. Veris and Louse, you have come all these ways across 2 weeks of Badlands. You have Donut with you. You've been following the tracks and signs of Yrsimagor. You've been following camps that have been, broken down and left behind, the signs of foot travel. You know that there are 2 people that lead this group, with about a group of 24 or so that follow behind them. You know that one of those leaders is Yrsimagor. The trail ends here as you see the Badlands give way to these thick canopies as sunlight begins to filter down through these thick, tall trees, gnarled, almost helical in their branches and their roots and their trunks. The ground, no longer craggy and dry and whatnot, is, you see almost like a carpet of lush that begins to grow in the distance. Shrubs, ferns, growing in curling shapes. A mist that clings low to the ground. A strange smell that wafts in from the area. It's sweet like fruit. It's foul like methane. It's something else that you can't even place. This place's air does smell a bit weird. And so it is the 2 of you and your little donut. What is your plan? And what is it like as you've traveled all this way?
So where do we see that the tracks go? Or do we... Because that's what we're following.
Yeah, you can give me a survival roll.
Oh, boy.
As the lush ground of up ahead kind of conceals the path that has happened.
Rolled a 5. Maybe Veris looks to Donut.
And Donut can give me a perception roll to try to like. So the Aurum Varax stat block, do you have access to it or no?
I actually think
Or do you
I
have handy?
add. Hold on.
I thought you had added it
thought
as under your extras.
I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay.
Nice.
Sorry.
Perception
Perception?
for Donut.
Okay. Oh boy. Got an 8.
Ouch.
Donut is perplexed and a little bit confused by all the smells and foliage of this place. I don't think Donut's ever seen this much green.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, I seem to have lost the path. I'm not really sure where we're supposed to go. The tracks led to here, but then you see Veris like kind of scratching his head as he looks, like positioning himself every which way.
Oh, well, let's see if I can find something. And I think Louse is actually gonna kind of squat and maybe feel the dirt and try to look for any sign of, because with the Lords of Rust they have like the machines and stuff. What if something sprung a leak? Let's try to look for something like that.
Yeah, so you can give me investigation, perception, or survival.
Perception and survival are good. Let's see. It's a 24.
You notice that there is some like hatchet and machete marks that kind of show that a group of people have cut through the foliage in this direction. Which makes sense, seeing as you kind of look around your surroundings. These thick, towering mountains are to your north, and the jungle itself opens up to the west. Seems they stuck to the low ground, going directly through the jungle.
When Louse notices this, she turns and she motions towards it. She's like, I think they went this way. Which is kind of good for us. It could be bad. There could be anything hiding in there. But with how thick this stuff is, I think we'll have good advantage for hiding and being quiet.
Well, yeah, that sounds wonderful. Let's go that way then.
Okay.
So we're gonna head in that direction.
Awesome. Now I need all 4 of you, please, to give me a D10 roll. And tell me what you get.
Are we rolling a 10 again?
Yep, D10.
That's kind of funny.
That is
Nobody else
really
is-
funny.
As you progress through as it no longer is much of a clearing, the trees themselves grow thicker and thicker, more dense and more dense, these hanging vines that sweep from one to the other. You have to duck and you even cut your way through as the jungle becomes more and more and more dense. Plants that crowd the path, broad leaves, slick and heavy. At your touch, they recoil, folding inwards. As you look around, you see that there are these claw marks upon the trunks of these tall, towering trees. And from these claw marks, these scars upon the bark, more growth of the tree appears, as if like scabs in a wound. And from those scabs, the trees grow these little sproutlings and saplings out from them, fractaling out in this unfettered growth from these wounds. Were you traveling steady or hustled?
Veris, I think, would be eager to go, so he would probably push for more of a hustle.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
yeah, Louse would very much agree with that, just because they don't know what's in there, and she would want to get to some place where they could potentially camp.
Mm-hmm. You see that a river flows from some mountain spring down, and it's flowing southwesternly. As you are hustling, you can make another movement if you wish.
I think, again, we're just looking for the tracks, so I think maybe another roll, or...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you want to try to follow tracks, both of you can give me survival, perception, or investigation, your choice, and tell me what you get.
I got a 19 this time, or Veris did, for perception.
I got a 17 for survival.
What you'll find along the river's edge, you see signs that this river has been forded. That is, at its deepest parts, you see that some of the trees have been felled. You see recent axe wounds that are already growing now new sprouting from the hewn stumps, where makeshift bridges have been toppled or have been made by these toppled trees across the river. It seems that they went this way.
Okay. I mean, we're both very small, so fording a river is not going to be the best time.
Mm-hmm. You can try to make use of the toppled tree.
Yeah.
I was
To get
about to
across.
say
Yeah.
getting on the top of the tree and going over.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. As you go across this tree, again, everyone please give me D10 rolls. As you make your way across this toppled tree, it is without issue. As the jungle just grows even thicker, it's closing in around you. Sound itself seems to heighten, and then you feel a ringing in your head. You feel a sharp pain shoot from the back of your eyes. You feel something wet on your upper lip. You dab it with the back of your hand, perhaps. You see blood. The two of you getting nosebleeds. The sky is growing dark. You have expended how much movement you can do for the day of travel. You feel like you're being watched as you explore this remaining hex.
Do we still feel that level of, like, pain?
It is not going away, and it's progressing to the state of a migraine.
you can see, Veris has been like wiping the back of his like paw on his nose, and like it's just doing nothing to like wick it away. But perhaps we should find a place to rest for a while. I'm not sure about you, but I'm not feeling the greatest.
Okay, out of character, I do just want to say one thing.
Mhm.
I'm a rune knight, and one of my runes is the storm rune. So,
Okay.
and one of the things that it says you have advantage on Arcana checks, and you can't be surprised as long as you aren't incapacitated. So I just kind of wanted to
Ooh.
throw that in
Okay,
there.
okay.
The
Oh, no.
spices.
We just lost Kaeryn.
No.
Oh no.
And she's
Oh.
back.
Are we all in the correct placements?
Yep,
Cool.
I just moved her.
All right. I think that because of your inability to be surprised, I think as like Veris is like beginning to set up camp, you notice shifting forms in your peripheral vision. There's 3 of them. They seem to be lurking at the edge of your vision. You cannot see them when you look directly at them, but you can see them out of the corner of your eye. Pink, floating, almost like jellyfish, hidden in the underbrush around you.
I think Louse kind of moves closer to Veris. Maybe even kind of appears like she's helping Veris, and she places a hand on his shoulder and gets, maybe for Veris, a little bit uncomfortably close just so she can whisper. She says, 3. Floating. We need to keep our eyes open. Unless you have something that can protect us for the night.
You see Veris's like whiskers twitch immediately as he's not the most subtle, so he like immediately begins to like try and look around at where Louse has like maybe like gestured or looked. Oh, oh dear, it's not good at all. I unfortunately don't have anything to provide us with prolonged protection. We'll just have to keep watch. Maybe in shifts?
I can do that. I'll take the first. You get some rest.
You see like Veris yawns like in spite of himself, and he like curls up to Donut, and you soon hear soft rat snoring.
Oh, why does Veris have to be so adorable?
I would like
That eye doesn't kill him.
the both of you, please, to make intelligence saving throws to stave off the migraine headache and the nosebleeds enough to get a night's rest. If you fail, sorry, if you both fail, you will lose a survival point here.
Sorry, what is the save?
Intelligence saving throw.
Okay. 19.
Okay. My apologies. I am looking at something really quick, and Okay, it's something else. That works. So intelligence saving throw. This is gonna be fun for me. Oh, that's a 6.
Well, both of you needed to fail to lose the point. So you, as a group, succeed. But you, Louse, this migraine is excruciating. The blood just won't stop leaking out of your nose. It's not like pouring out like a faucet or anything. It's just like this nosebleed just doesn't end. You find yourself having to look away from the fire because of how the bright light just aches your mind. And as you look away, that's when you see out of the corner of your eye a long, thin tentacle slowly wrapping around the base of the skull of Donut, sneaking its way under the jaw and up around, up into Donut's ear, and the ear kind of like flicking absently in Donut's sleep. Veris is sound asleep. And out of the corner of your eye, you're seeing this tentacle. And the owner of this tentacle is floating ominously above the two of them. Again, that pink jellyfish that seems to be cloaked, seems to vanish when you look directly at it. What do you do?
Oh, you. The way that I imagine it is when Louse turns away, she's turning so she can still kind of watch, but not have to be directly faced in the fire. And when she sees this, her whole body kind of stiffens at first. And when she turns to look directly at it and it disappears, she slowly gets up. And she saunters over, almost as if she's gonna wake Veris up. Like it's Veris's turn to take watch. And she very gently crouches down and scruffs Donut to try and gently just wake Donut up for a second.
As you go intending to do these, you get up from the stone that you're sitting on to go approach Donut. As you go to bend down, you feel something tight coil around your neck as you are attacked from hidden. I would like all three of you to roll initiative, please. Louse, you are being attacked.
Hooray!
That is a 21 to hit you.
That will hit.
All right. As the tentacle wraps around you, it will deal. Close this. Bum bum. Yes. It'll deal for 6 points of bludgeoning damage. You are grappled, and 10 points of psychic damage, for a total of 16 damage.
Cool. I love this.
And as you are attacked by this, as it's grappling you around the neck, that's when you realize that it's no longer invisible to you, as you're now touching it.
Cool.
There's one that attacked you from behind. And what is... I guess, since Veris and Donut are still asleep, it's your turn, Louse. What do you do?
It's my my turn.
It's your turn.
I'm so scared. I think, well, obviously I want to get out of the grapple.
Okay. That
But
will... Okay.
as a bonus action,
Mhm.
I want to invoke Giant's Might,
Okay.
where I get, if I'm smaller than large, I become large along with anything that I'm wearing. I have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. And on each of my turns, one of my attacks with a weapon or an unarmed strike can deal an extra 1d6 damage.
What is this like? Describe for me how Louse does this transformation. This is the first time we've seen Louse do this. The spotlight is yours.
So, the moment this thing wraps around Louse's neck, it's almost instantaneous. Her hands come up to this tentacle and she starts to squeeze. And if anybody were watching, maybe it kind of looks like she's going into some sort of rage, but the tattoos that she has across her body start to like flicker, and her whole body just starts to expand, and she grows taller and wider, and her neck grows wider, and a part of her is kind of hoping, oh, maybe this will get it off of me because I'm getting big. So that is the first thing that I'm going to do. And then I want to get out of the grapple if that didn't do it.
Yep. This will be a strength roll to break free of the grapple. Strength check, which you have advantage on.
I'm excited. Okay. Advantage. Roll. Oh, I got a nat 20.
That is a critical success if we're playing Pathfinder. As you reach down and you grab this tentacle to try to like break free, it is extremely weak in your grip. As you kind of realize these things probably attack from stealth rather than might. As you kind of grip onto this tentacle and you feel it is jagged and bony and has these spines on it rather than being a smooth tentacle. And you grab it and you can grab it and like fling it off of you, throwing it to the ground where its cloak is almost like a sci-fi cloaking effect as it shimmers into like visibility as it lands in a thud, disoriented on the ground below you, in front of you.
Cool. Let me look at this. So that was my bonus action and my action to get out of the grapple. Have anything else I can do? I don't.
I would say if you want to try to wake up Veris and Donut.
Oh hell yes!
It would not take an action to do it all. It'd be a free action to do.
Oh hell yes! My ass is waking those two up. Cause like.
Because one of them is still trying to get into Donut's ear. Yeah.
One of them is. Because this is the funny part was, I was gonna ask. I was like, can I try and throw this thing at where I saw from my periphery the other one, but throwing this one onto the ground actually works because then my brain goes, since she's huge, she can stomp on a tentacle to try and hold it in place while she goes over and uses her other foot to very almost violently nudge Donut and Veris.
So I think in the D&D update, they made escaping a grapple be your attack action, I believe, rather than a full action. Which means that if you have the extra attack feature, you would still have an attack available to you.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just quickly double check this, but yeah, I'll go ahead and give you attack.
Instead of doing it with her foot, then she'll just grab her halberd and she'll just try to shank it. I assume with
Awesome.
disadvantage because it's not 10 feet away.
You don't get disadvantage if it's close with a halberd.
Cool.
So it would just be a regular. In fact, it'd be with advantage because it is prone from being flung off of you.
See if I get anything better. No. So I got a 24 to hit with my first one. With the advantage,
20?
it would be a 24.
24 is a hit.
Cool. So roll it. Oh, 17 damage. I got max damage on that one. Sweet.
Ooh, wow. All right, that is a hefty blow that you do upon this thing. As it has its like little almost like crab-like legs, like that prop it back upright as it scuttles across the undergrowth, injured by this grievous injury. I seem to misplace the pen. Here we go.
I've done
That was
that.
17, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
I can also deal an extra 1d6 with my Giant's
Ooh,
Might.
yes. Roll that
So
for
let me roll that. So that's an extra 3, so that's 20. And then I have something else. I just have to find it. Oh, it's not larger than me anymore. Never mind.
Okay. So that was 3 more damage, you said?
Yep. So a total of 20.
Okay. With that, oh, okay. So turns out that you don't get a bonus attack if you have extra attack. Escaping a grapple. That must be a Pathfinderism. Whatever. I'll let you have it done at once because it was cool. From the natural 20 that you got. That's what happened here.
Okay.
Yeah. Veris, you can roll me initiative, please. As Louse is trying to wake you up. Something's happening in the camp.
I believe I got a 12. Yeah.
Okay.
12 and Donut got a 12.
Okay, well, you both get to act then on the same count of initiative. As some commotion wakes you up as you see Louse grabbing this pink chitinous jellyfish creature, tossing it to the ground, and skewering it with the end of her halberd. What do you do as you come to?
Veris wakes up in with
and
a
also
start.
Louse is double the size that she normally is.
Yeah, Veris is going to put a pin in that. We'll come back to that later. But I think Veris immediately wakes up and sees. Does he see any? He's going to look around quickly. Does he see the others?
The only one that he sees is the one that Louse is attacking, and you can make me a perception roll. Okay. Outside of that.
23.
So there's only one of them that you see, and then as you're kind of glancing about, you see something in the corner of your eye. A tightly wrapped tentacle tail coiled around 1, 2, 3 times now around Donut. As you can hear Donut's kind of beleaguered breathing. It's being a bit too constricted. And the main body of that jellyfish-like creature with its little crab-like legs sitting upon the crown of Donut's head in the periphery of your vision.
Oh yeah, immediately. Veris is going to turn towards that, and he wants to take his gun, that little infernal pistol, and he wants to aim and fire at this thing on top of Donut's head.
Awesome. This is at disadvantage because you realize as you go to look at it, it vanishes from your sight.
Gotcha.
As if it was not there. So you can roll your attack with disadvantage, please.
How much does it cost to roll with advantage?
1.
So I'm going to roll so that I roll straight. I'm going to use 1.
Use a domain relic to counter the disadvantage.
Yeah. It's a 12.
That's enough.
Okay.
You blast it square as the what kind of gun is it?
It's the infernal pistol.
That's right. So this like gout of superheated plasma kind of shoots out, almost like imagine like a hot glue gun, but weaponized. That
But
shoots out
accelerated.
but shoots out plasma that's like as hot as like 1/3 as hot as the core of the sun or something. As it just shoots this gout of molten like vapor fluid stuff.
So that's
Roll for
11
damage.
points.
Okay. And as you blast it, the kind of cloaking effect kind of dissipates as you see that it suffered this wound and is now fully visible to you. It is Donut's turn.
I
The
imagine
creature
Donut
has
feels-
like the creature's uncoiled from Donut's neck, and what does Donut want to do?
I think Donut turns and is going to attack. It's going
Okay.
to makes 1 bite and 2 claw.
Yep. Claw bite. Multi-attack.
Okay, so that is +4 claw bite. Okay, +5. Okay, so that is going to be a 14,
A hit.
an 18, and a 17.
Yep, 3 hits.
Okay. And that is going to be 2d6 and a d8. So that is going to be 15 points.
Okay. Yeah, this bloodies this
And-
strange brain alien creature.
Is it a medium or smaller creature?
It is small.
If the target is a medium or smaller creature, it is grappled.
All right. I imagine like Donuts like pounced on it, pinning it to the ground, and like ripping and tearing into it.
Yeah, like one of those little like cat toys, you know?
Yeah.
That slinks around.
Grabbed it in the front paws and is like kicking it with like all 4
Yeah.
of its hind paws. Yeah. It's just shredding it up. Okay. That is going to bring us now to the mind killers. The one that is on the ground in front of you that you halberded, Louse, is going to scuttle around and can do like a little bit of a leap and begin levitating. And is going to like try to skewer you with the tip of that like spine tail tentacle, trying to attack you. That is going to be a 9 to hit,
That does not hit.
which you're able to dodge out of the way. The one that is grappled by Donut is going to try to break free of Donut's grapple, getting a 9 to break out free of Donut's grapple, which is very much not enough. And then lastly, Veris, you are being attacked from hidden as, again, you, like how Louse did, feel a constriction around your neck and little tiny crab-like feet begin to like latch on to your scalp, to your head. And it constricts you and tries to begin to burrow its tail tentacle tip into your ear. That is going to be a 13 to hit you. All right, you're able to, it does not get a foothold on you, and you're able to kind of move around, grab it, throw it off of you, and you are not being grappled, and you are not being injured by it. Louse, it is your turn.
Awesome. The one that just tried to spear me, We are going to... I mean, we're gonna lunge at it with my halberd. So, let me just make sure it's on here. Cool. That is a 27 to hit.
That very much hits.
That is 8 damage on that.
Mhm.
And
You've now bloodied it.
with my giant's might, I get that extra d6 for an extra 4 damage. So the first attack is 12. And then we're gonna try to hit it again.
Awesome. Give me another attack roll.
It's 29 to hit.
That's another hit.
And that's 14 damage.
And that kills it outright. As you skewer it to the ground, it kind of does like a hissing sound as the legs kind of curl up around the blade.
So happy.
And that was your action to attack. You see that Donut's mauling one, and Veris is being attacked by another.
That's so gross. We are going to, let me look. I should be okay to invoke the storm rune. So as a bonus action, I'm going to invoke my storm rune, which allows me to enter a prophetic state for 1 minute or until I am incapacitated. Until the state ends, when I or another creature I can see within 60 feet of me makes an attack roll, a saving throw, or an ability check, I can use my reaction to cause the roll to have advantage or disadvantage.
Okay, cool. So you'll step in if you need to do that ability then.
Yes.
Perfect. That will then bring us to Veris and Donut.
Yeah, I think Veris is going to whip around and try and get at the thing that is attacking him.
Okay. As you whip around, you cannot see it that well. It is invisible to you. So it'll be at disadvantage to attack it, because you know roughly where it is, but you cannot easily see it.
But if I give you advantage, you get a straight roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think he's gonna try and shoot at it again. Yeah. Yeah, I think he has to.
Okay, give me that roll.
The 9.
That will be a miss as your shot goes wide. That'll bring us then to Donut.
Yeah, Donut is continuing to try and eviscerate this this thing. So I believe because it's grappled, it is still grappled, right?
Yep, still grappled. Did not break free.
I don't think that means that can't use its claw attacks. Oh, on another target. Okay, so it can still use the claw on this thing.
Yeah.
Which is what it's going to do. It's going to do the 2 claw, 1 bite.
On at least one of those attacks, you can give Donut advantage.
Oh. Well, I got a nat 20.
Ooh. Oh yeah. You can only use your reaction once per round.
Oh, that's
Sara.
true.
So, yeah, so you get to use it once and only once. So nat 20 is a crit.
Yep. And sorry, how do you do crits?
The MTD way, which is max plus roll.
Max plus roll. Gotcha. So that'll be 13. $17 just with the claws.
Okay.
Whoops. And then 8 with the bite.
You can describe for me, please, how Donut dispatches her foe.
I imagine Donut is doing that thing that cats do, absolutely. That's like kicking at it with, like holding it with her front paws and like kicking at it with her other sets of paws. And I think it just catches it in the right way, and you feel this, or you hear this like tearing rip of like chitin and whatever is like holding this thing together, and it just absolutely eviscerates this thing,
Awesome.
tearing it open.
And that will bring us to the last one that remains, which was attacking you, Veris, that kind of dodged your shot. It, sensing the pheromones of its fallen brethren, continuing to be invisible, you can see it out of the corner of your eye, retreating, skulking back into the darkness.
Is that an opportunity attack?
Fleeing. You would have, you use an opportunity here, but you only have access to an unarmed strike because you're wielding your pistol, and you're doing so at disadvantage.
Could I not shoot or no?
You cannot use a ranged weapon for opportunity attacks.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna try and punch it.
Yeah. You do like a pistol backhand or something.
Okay, never
Whatever
mind.
that's
That's
called.
a 3.
Awesome. Yeah, so the last remaining one flees into the night, unseen once more between the trees. And as stillness comes over the scene, as you catch your breath, wondering what just happened, that is where we're going to go for a break.
Perfect. We'll take a short break, and we will see you on the other side. And we're back.
And that concludes day 1
A
of
hell of a
the Valley
first
of the
day.
Brain Collectors. As the little display goes and rolls up the 1 into a 2 on a black screen. We cut to Daeralei, Varkhessa, Mayenda. You have a small little mountain overlook camp as you get your stuff ready in the morning. You've made sure to have those large flying beasts, give them lots of room, not stir them at all. You found another side on the opposite side of this ridge to camp, so you're far from them. It's another day of travel that you get to do as you see and survey the lowlands to the southwest of you. You see that it is all this deep valley of vibrant greens. You see a river that courses, winding, snaking up from this mountain down into the heart of the valley itself, to the southwest.
What kind of water sources have we been able to find here in the mountains?
Freshwater springs,
Okay.
and a bit of like snow runoff from the super high crags. Just because it's springtime-ish. So there's whatever's remained of the winter snow is now melted off into river
So
water.
we're not hurting for water where we need to.
No.
Specifically trek down to find the
Nope.
obvious water source. Talking to Varkhessa. Nope, I'm Varkhessa. I talk in third person now. Varkhessa is talking to Varkhessa's self. Talking with Mayenda and Daeralei. I would recommend if we want to reach those mountains on the edge of the jungle. And I'll indicate off into the distance over here. We should move at a quicker pace. As long as we are not at the risk of... and again, a little bit of a side glance at Daeralei. Dragon attacks. I would still like to make for this particular region, but at a hustled pace, if Daeralei and Mayenda are in agreement.
Daeralei is taking, I've lost the word. Basically, though, Varkhessa is leading. Daeralei will do whatever at this moment that Varkhessa recommends. This is not her realm of expertise, so.
All right. As you snake your way through the mountains, the rock is dark and dense as you stride, clinging close to the slopes. You can hear the sound of the pebbles and whatnot plummet down the cliff face, down into the valley below. The mountain air here is sharp, clean, cold, crisp. Yet, even up here, there's a undercurrent of a sweet, gaseous, like methane smell that creeps up every now and then. As you stride to this new peak, I'd like all 4 of my players tonight, please, to roll me a d10. As you get a new vantage point to look out.
Just wanted to throw this out there because I think I stated this at the beginning of our last time, that as part of the daily ritual, the first thing Varkhessa does is summon some of the blood magic from her tattoos and casts mage armor every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
that was partially a reminder for myself. I wanted to make sure I marked off the spell slot.
As you look about, you can see that this is what appears to be the northern ridgeline of the valley. As you're continuing along this way, to the north, you see the Badlands that make way for the northern tribes. To the south is, again, that verdant green, and there's the ridges just continue to the northwest. And here, and even pushing down into the valley to the southwest. And on this southwest hex, you can see from this vantage point, from this distance, you see smoke rising from some mountainous camp or settlement or something. Yeah,
here
in that hex. Smoke rises in that hex. And Sara, what was your D10 roll?
I didn't hear you ask for one.
Yes, okay.
Probably because my child was in here. It is a 7.
Okay. The intriguing thing as well is that you believe you'd be above the undergrowth, you're above the tree line here. And yet there is this lawn of foliage at your feet as you're continuing this way. This hex is covered in this like lawn of verdant. It's not really verdant, I should say. It's the color of like glass of mucus. It is thin and foamy, but it is not wet at all. It is almost like the fluff of mold that grows across the stones like lichen on these craggy tops. And if any of you have like, brushed it with like your hand or your ankle or something, you'll get a strange flash of vision as your mind imagines something, just for a moment.
I imagine that Varkhessa walks barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm imagining this is perhaps more frequent.
Yeah, so you walking barefoot like this, I imagine it's almost like you're having a hard time really navigating after a certain point, as you are half in this world, half in another. You are standing on these basalt stone, like those hexagonal stone pillars, beneath a dark sky, stars illuminate above you. You see swirling galaxies in blues and greens and purples, a sky completely foreign to you. You see these towering structures, megalithic, surrounding you. You're on top of this pillar in the center of a vast, empty city, illuminated in this ultraviolet light. The sky, the clouds, it moves. Oh, sorry, the sky is filled with this strange cloud, but when you realize it's not a cloud, it's an incomprehensible mass of flying, indescribable creatures. Fly on membranous wings. And it's when they all, one by one, begin to look at you with eyeless faces, with 3 pseudopods for a mouth. That is when you snap to, probably to like the distressed shaking hand, like shaking your shoulder. Varkhessa, are you okay? Of Mayenda, as it seems you're about to have lost consciousness as you come to.
It seems that this land has caused me to walk between worlds. 1 foot in this world and 1 foot in another. Usually, I require powerful drugs for this. And I would like to... Am I able to determine that it's because of this loam that's causing this, or...
Yeah, you probably like, sit down for a little bit and sit cross-legged or something, and you realize, yeah, it's through contact with the loam on the ground that causes these hallucinations.
I would then go into my pack and pull out a pair of simple sandals that I keep as part of my like traveling clothes. I choose not to, especially in the mountains normally, but for hazardous terrain, usually not this. but I think it's wise to put some footwear on to try to mitigate it somewhat. And I will take a few minutes to gather myself. Was this still in this first hex, or was this as we had moved
Yeah,
into this? Okay.
That is this first hex. Is the loam. Yeah. Other than that, nothing else. Nothing else nasty happens.
While we're sort of taking a moment to gather ourselves, I will indicate in the distance the smoke rising from the mountains at the end of that range. And I'm actually going to suggest that rather than continuing northwest like we were, that we dip down into the jungle valley. I would like to move. I would like to go investigate what is there. Perhaps there are some peoples there that we can question, or some sign of what we are seeking.
And the ground like that would be heading into would be very covered, right? Like the canopy of the vegetation would
You'd be
cover
going
us.
down into you'd be going down into the jungle, yes.
Yeah. And we would have cover from whoever is there. Yeah, and dragons. Though I am sure it will be filled with other creatures. We should keep our eyes open.
Indeed. I have never yet been into a jungle that didn't offer as much danger as it does beauty. And then after a few moments, I'll probably stand back up and dust myself off and look at the other two. Well, I don't know what you are waiting for. We should get moving.
You are all right to move now. You have recovered.
I am fine.
Daeralei just cocks one eyebrow, but doesn't say anything.
This is not my first time spirit walking. I just usually do it more deliberately and more voluntarily.
Speaking of that and the fact that we know kind of what this is, I would like to have taken a little bit of time to gather some of that loam into a container. I'm trying to see what I've got here.
Pocket hallucinations?
Yeah. We have inflatable boats. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm sure. Like we've used a couple of those canisters in the nanite gun. So we'd have this empty canister. I would just try and fill it with
scoop up some of the knife.
Yeah, just so I can.
I have an herbalism kit. While it doesn't specify any bottles or anything, but I would assume there would be collection materials in there. So I would offer you.
So because of the herbalism kits, you can do this risk-free. Without the herbalism kit, it'd be a bit risky.
Perfect.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll assist Daeralei in that, but I'll let you hold on to whatever it was, the amount you wanted to collect.
Not for a good couple of trips later if we want to.
Right, you can add to your inventory neural lattice loam.
This sounds like something you'd buy on the street in Cyberpunk 2077.
And so
I'm writing
you
down that I
continue.
have two times neural
Mhm.
lattice lumps.
Cool. And so with your hustle, you're able to make one more movement before your travel comes to an end for this day.
Well, in that case, we're going to move down here into the perfectly
Okay.
safe jungle.
And that will reduce your vision as you descend down from the let me okay, so what path? Whatever, it revealed more than it should have. That's fine. Roll, please, all four of you. A d10. Incredible.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Whoa.
Almost. You make your way through the jungle. You make your way through the rocky outcrops that break through the greenery. You descend down where the pale lichen that forms the geometric patterns upon the stones. You descend down, vines begin to claim the dark, metallic rocks. The air begins to get thicker and thicker. That sweet smell, the noxious smell of methane, the dizzying smell of dirt, of decay, all assaults your minds as the air thickens. The sunlight now is blocked out by the canopy overhead. Collections of rainwater that have pooled upon these big, broad leaves spill out from idle passing winds. You come to a clearing up ahead. And up ahead in the clearing is not quite a Stonehenge, but it looks like something like that at first. This circle of stones. In an odd formation ahead, these jagged, lumpy stones, each taller than twice your height. It's only when one of these stones begins to move that you realize that they are not boulders, in fact, at all. When a chunk of one of these boulders breaks free on a passing wind, like the puffs of a dandelion being carried on an unseen breeze, and begins, as it breaks off, it breaks apart even more still into smaller, fist-sized chunks that scatter downwind. And as they do, they begin to flit about almost like firebugs, like beetles in the air, before coming to rest on whatever surfaces they find. And then again, you see another chunk break off of a different mound, split apart, drift away. What do you do as you see this strange sight?
So to be clear, it looks like big chunks of rock that are floating away, or does it look like more of the fluffy?
It is chunks of rocks. The behavior is like a dandelion, but it's still like a rock that kind of breaks apart.
Are any of these type of rocks like close by, or
The closest
that
one
we
would be like 80 feet away.
I kind of want to go touch one.
So right now you have the cover of the tree line. This is what you're kind of witnessing out in beyond the tree line. You're seeing this little meadow of this formation. Do you break out of the tree line to go check it out?
No, I'm not that brave. I think I would go towards like the edge of the tree line to get a better look at what's happening, but I would not leave the canopy cover.
Yeah, they otherwise seem inert, other than every now and then a small, like, head-sized chunk of them kind of breaking off and floating away.
I am going to walk up next to Daeralei with one hand on my staff and just place my other hand down on your shoulder lightly. Curious, isn't it? I can tell you. You want to get a bit of a closer look, don't you?
I would be lying if I said I didn't. This is fascinating. They're rocks. They're flying away.
I will investigate. We shall see what they are, as best we can. And then my hand that's on your shoulder will suddenly go to your other shoulder and then leap off of your shoulder. And as it leaps off your shoulder, it transforms into a spider. As I am going to use creeping, I think it's called creeping touch, to detach my hand at the wrist, transforming it into a spider. It essentially functions for the next 10 minutes like a familiar. I can see and hear through it, and while I'm standing next to you, I am deaf and blind. So I am going to become this spider hand and scuttle along through the undergrowth. I can move up to 100 feet, and I think you said the closest was 80 feet. And yeah, I'm just going to see what new information I can gather about these things.
You scuttle in your little hand form. You scuttle through the underbrush, approaching these things. It is when you get within about 20 feet of this closest cluster that, Daeralei, you'd see the whole mass of the thing begins to twitch violently. One by one, these tiny green specks begin to open upon the surfaces of the small conglomerate little stones that make up these mounds. And chunks immediately begin to break off aggressively. 1, 2, 3. They split apart into 7, and they swarm the hand, battering it and destroying it to whatever extent that your creeping touch can be destroyed.
Oh, it can be destroyed.
As when they attack, these green bulbs appear on these little stone surfaces, and pseudopods emerge out of the polyhedral corners of them, as it looks like a bunch of these. Ooh, unable to send file. Oh, I have to send the link. That's what it is. Bunch of these swarming in formation, battering and smashing at the hand until it's defeated. And when it is defeated once more, they come to a rest upon the ground, like pine cones that have fallen from their mother tree, unmoving as the green little eyes on them go dark and they settle on the ground.
I think as that happens, Daeralei, you suddenly feel my hand grip your shoulder as it's magically returned to me when it's destroyed. As I grip your shoulder and steady myself for a moment, because when it is killed or doesn't return to me before the end of the spell, I take 1d6 psychic damage. I rolled and took 3 psychic damage from that attack. And then I just... Well, I think that exploration was a success. They're wise not to walk out there and get any closer to whatever those are.
I feel like at this point my curiosity has been satisfied. Are you okay?
I am fine. And I'll kind of lift my hand and flex it a little bit. It tingles.
And I think Daeralei would actually kind of recognize like the wince that you made when your hand like was destroyed out there, that because you took the psychic damage, because Daeralei undergoes a kind of pain often. So I think would kind of just recognize what happened to you and know that outwardly you're fine. You're something happened inwardly, but does not seem too bad at this point. Well, shall we continue?
We will need to find a safe place to camp for tonight.
Mm-hmm. But now at least we know what one of the dangers looks like.
Flying rock formations. And we will avoid them. And then I just imagine you kind of see that view from out in the clearing, looking at the wood line, and you just see Daeralei and I just turn and disappear back into the foliage.
You then cut as Louse and Veris begin their travel day. Well, it was the interrupted rest at the very least. You have the bodies of those strange brain jellyfish creatures at your feet. What is it that you all want to do?
Immediately Veris is going to go to one of the felled bodies and immediately wants to put something of it, maybe a few parts of it, into various vials into his backpack or his shelf pack.
Its body seems to be one massive brain and has a thick, like, spinal cord going through its tail. These thin little crab-like legs, and then a strange, like, poison gland.
Oh, he wants to try and extract
at
this
the
poison
entrance
gland.
of his mouth. Yeah.
He wants to try and extract the poison gland, and he wants to try and like cut a little bit of the brain up and put it into a vial.
Okay. You can add to your inventory Mind Killer Brain Chunk and Mind Killer Venom Gland.
Nice.
I was gonna say Louse kind of wanted to do the same thing, but instead of obviously the gooey parts, if there's any tougher parts, because I remember you saying it was kind of like chitinous, she wants to grab that. So
Yeah.
if the legs are chitinous, she wants to grab those. Any sort of carapace.
It has a very like thick but yet translucent carapace that surrounds its giant brain body. And the legs are chitinous, and the strange material of its spinal cord tail tentacle thing as well. You can add to your inventory Mind Killer chitin bits. As you begin your next adventuring day, you notice the hex that you're in right now is flanked by two of these rivers flowing from the mountains down southwest, downhill, deeper into the valley. The trail you were following was going up to the northwest here. What do you want to do, and where do you want to go? Do you want to hustle, or do you want to be steady?
I think continuing to hustle. Maybe they would follow the river for a little bit until they would be forced to cross it. So
I was gonna say the exact same thing. So we're kind of on the same wavelength there.
nice. Yeah. So we'll go up one.
Up one, perfect.
Yep.
Up to M5. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. I would like everyone, please, to roll me a D10, please. As you are continuing through the jungle, as you're making way through the underbrush, through the rich, sharp, warm earth beneath your feet, the thick creepers that hang low, you see up ahead in this hex, there is a massive sinkhole in the earth, about 40 feet across, to a depth that you cannot see the bottom. But the smell from the bottom is noxious, atrocious. You ever open up a garbage can during the summer? After a rainy day, in the summer heat, that is what this sinkhole smells like. And I need a perception check from the both of you, please. And I guess from Donut as well.
Oh, whoops. Okay, well, Veris got a 6. And
I got a 7.
Donut got a 19.
Well, as the two of you are extremely bamboozled and done up by this stinky pit, Donut actually kind of goes off on her own for a little bit before kind of stopping, not wanting to leave your company. But she has found a trail that leads to a cave. A cave in this hex.
I think Veris probably sees that Donut is kind of gone off on her own a little bit, and would follow her.
Yeah, Louse is just gonna probably have her tunic up like this, just ew, as she follows.
And you follow Donut as she leads you to the yawning mouth of a cave. The cave is easy to see from this vantage. The insides of it glow a beautiful yellow light.
Maybe go towards this light. Oh, never mind. I just opened up the picture.
Yeah, my brain went, oh no, it's the Cave of Wonders.
Give me the lamp.
Give me the lamp. Oh, but if Donut's going towards it, maybe we should.
Yeah, Veris looks at
Donut
Louse.
seems very keen to continue into this cave.
Oh, I bet I know
Fuck.
why.
Oh my god, me too.
Yeah. Ferris will go with Donut, but like hesitantly, trying to like caution Donut. Donut, just we know there's probably things there, but just be very careful. Like fully talking to Donut.
Yeah, Louse is just in the back, like pulling her halberd out, and she's just like meh, trying to watch the roof of the cave and everything. Just like, this is so bad.
Well, you approach the entrance of the cave. You can see that there's this yellow, like, thick mist that kind of flows across the craggy bottom. And you realize that this mist is actually just thousands upon thousands, millions of little glittering yellow flecks that catch the light. They float and dance and flit about. The cave goes deeper and deeper still. Donut's a little bit curious and wants to continue in. You see that the cave is quite deep and seems to stretch and wind for quite some ways.
Ferris wants to bend down. You said there was like light or like flecks on the walls?
Yeah, so it's almost like flecks of gold that kind of floats like as a mist, as a fog, as a mist, like at about your ankle level. And instead of getting darker the deeper it goes, it gets brighter the deeper you look in. It's almost like there's like a blinding, like someone's shining a flashlight in your eye kind of thing at the pit of this cave.
Varys wants to like try and like run his hand over this gold and see if he can like, I don't know, catch one, see what it is.
Yeah, you kind of waft your hand through. You can't really catch anything, but as you pull your hand back, you see that like the gold little flecks have clung to the fur on your hand, and now your hand glitters. If you've ever dealt with glitter, well, this is what's happening to your fur right now. The Veris glitter beard.
Varys looks fabulous right now.
Is this just the entrance to a jungle strip club?
Just hear like a deep bass coming from.
All I hear is untis. We've got this.
Donut, I don't really think this is a good idea. You can see Varys is like trying to like tug at Donut.
Donut's like giving it the pleading eyes of like, really? Understanding that you know best here, but
The fact that we just got like attacked by some brain things, this just looks way too enticing. So I think Varys looks to Louse.
With your glitter beard?
Yeah, glittering. Shining.
Beautiful.
As much as there could be something here, from what we've experienced so far, we have to be very careful with what we do, where we go. I don't think that Yrsimagor went this way. Perhaps we come back later.
You see Louse is trying very, very hard to pay attention to what you're saying, but she's just so caught off guard with how your furry beard is just glittery. Not here now. Okay. Do you think you can get that one to leave? Are we sure that he didn't go this way? Is there? We don't know if there's like an opening on the other side. I mean, why would the donut come in here otherwise? Louse is very much distracted by just how glorious Veris looks right now.
Perhaps we should search around a little bit, and then we can come back. I just don't want to dive headfirst into a cave, really not knowing where we're going or really what's around. We'll come back. We'll mark it. Veris says emphatically as he's like takes out like a little scroll and is like marking down this place. Maybe we look around it first. What do you say? And Veris also looks to Donut at this.
Donut begins just like licking at like the gold flecks that have clung to her fur. Seemingly occupied and content with that.
Yeah, that's what I would, or at least Veris would propose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Louse will go along with that.
Okay.
All right. And with that, that comes and brings our session tonight to a close. And we will pick up next time.
Just remember, we left off at the Goldschlager cave.
We'll see what is the source of that smoke on the top of that mountain overlook. What secrets does that golden cave have? Where is the neurocam? Where is Yrsimagor? Where's my car? Many questions can be answered next time on Skymetal.
All right. A wonderful return back to this game, to a wonderful new hex crawl mechanic that you put together. As always, just when I think I've got a handle on all the cool things that Owlbear Rodeo can do, Vi shows me up and introduces all kinds of new stuff that can be done, and it's very cool to see how this simple tool can be used. Also, just as I said, a tool to a continuing great story. Great to be back at the table with everybody. Thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. And for everybody hanging out in the chat, we always appreciate you. If you're somebody that likes to lurk quietly in the background, or maybe you're watching with us later on the VOD, know that we appreciate you and hope that you enjoy our games as much as we enjoy playing them. And of course, as always, a huge thank you to our Game Master Vi and all these players. So as always, thank you, Vi, Kaeryn, Sara, and Em, without whom this would just be Vi talking to herself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want.
A glitter beard.